Swinburne University of Technology.
Hi, I'm Professor Gilly Salmon. I'm going to talk to you a bit more about the 5-stage model. Just before you do your storyboard, you might like to review the ideas of the environment around the 5-stage model, because it will help you to put things in the right place when you start storyboarding. Now, you probably know about Sherpas. Maybe some of you are even mountain climbers and know more than I do, but quite recently we've had an anniversary of Sherpa Tenzin, who was one of the first people to arrive at the summit of Everest. And I think when we're designing for learners going through the scaffold of their course, they often look right up and think, oh my goodness, look how far I've got to go. And if you look straight up, it looks a very long way. Whereas if we break it down into small stages, they're much more likely to be successful and engaged all the way through. But they do need a Sherpa. They need someone to walk along with them, to help them with understanding the environment, to make sure that they're successful in their learning achievements. So if we think about stage 1, when they just arrive at the foothills of the mountain, they come in from different places, perhaps bringing baggage on different vehicles with different experiences. And somehow we need to bring them together into this very special online experience. We need to help them to feel comfortable in the environment. We need to make sure they've got some of the right equipment. And that's the role of the Sherpa at that stage. And then after that, they will move on to the very small foothills of the mountains. And at that stage, the Sherpa's pointing out pathways, providing them with the wherewithal of working together. And they'll start to realise that they'll learn much more and much more quickly if they team up with others, maybe even rope them together at this stage to help them move up to the scaffold. And now the invitation is to look back and see how far they've already come before we move on to stage 3. And at stage 3, they'll actually realise they're very dependent on others. The Sherpa is actually providing information about the environment, information about the knowledge they need, perhaps a little bit of direction, pointing out the options and the pathways that they can move through. And that's what we need to build into our design at this point. Now, when you get to stage 4, the mountains get a little bit misty. Sometimes there's a climate or environment that might get in the way. And they will need more knowledge than they had before from the Sherpa to help them understand what they need in order to go towards the summit, to plan for the assessment that might be involved of actually reaching the summit, enable them to see that the ropes that they need might be a little bit different from what they thought. So they'll need lots of feedback, lots of help. Of course, once they move on to the summit, they're probably going to be working very much as a team, and they're probably going to need a lot of feedback to get there. But what a view when they get there, both of the journey they've been on and of the future. And that's something that we can use throughout the mountain climb to encourage them, to support them, to enable them. And that's the role of the Sherpa. So if you like that metaphor, think about that as you do your storyboard, and think about the kind of things that each of the 5 stages that will help your learners to succeed. And when you're walking alongside them, they'll actually benefit from the Sherpa's knowledge as well as from the actual environment that they're learning from. So good luck. Don't forget the Sherpa.
This has been a Swinburne production.